voice screams so loud. The big sky stretching past the clouds. Frozen rivers break their chains. Saskatchewan's got the bigger dreams. Grip it holds too tight, but the south it calls in the dead of night. Fields of wheat, they yearn for more. A better deal just past that door. Canada's grip it holds too tight, but the south it calls in the dead of night. Fields of wheat, they yearn for more. A better deal just past that door. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny. High, they weigh us down. Promises lost in Ottawa's town. We've been forgotten, left to fade. Time to rewrite the deal we made. Mountains far we've never seen. We're just the land where the cold is mean. The freedom south where the sun does shine. It's time to take what should be mine. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny.
Together side by side. Mountains rise, frozen veins feed. Shifting tides, sowing the seed. North sky fire burns so high. Joining hands under shared sky. Welcome, welcome, Greenland folk. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. No king, no crown, ice can freeze. Strength and spirit, lands and seas. Borders fade like melting snow. Together stronger, onwards go. Welcome, welcome, Greenland fold. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. No king, no crown, ice can freeze. Strength in spirit, lands and seas. Borders fade like melting snow. Together stronger, onwards go. Welcome, welcome, Greenland fold. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. Together
Welcome to the NPC show, deprogramming the world one NPC at a time. I'm your host Frank. Today is, was it Thursday? Thursday, February 26th, 2026. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm a little behind again. Boy, actually, I'm like a solid 90 seconds behind here. I'm still trying to, organize things. Still trying to get my my posts out. Well, you guys are just gonna have to sit through this. You know, it's not too bad. I don't think I need to frame all this. It's good enough. Yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Hello, guys. Good morning. Oh, by the way, today is Graydon Dean's birthday. Happy birthday, Graydon Dean. Graydon Dean, happy birthday, Graydon Dean. I don't think she's here yet, but when she is, she will see this on the replay, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, he remembered my birthday." I did, dear. I think, dear. I think that's a girl, lady. I don't know. I don't like celebrating guys' birthday. I don't even like celebrating my own birthday, you know. But I'll celebrate a guy's birthday, I guess, if they turn in their birthdays, you know. By the way, if you've been here for more than a year regularly, you can, you know, tell me what your birthday is and I'll add it to the calendar, and we will definitely celebrate it when it comes along, you know. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, we're good to go. Wow, awesome. So I was about 90 seconds behind. Yeah. Anyways, hello guys, good morning. Is Graydon Dean here? I don't think she is yet. But anyways, happy birthday, Graydon. That's enough of that. Happy birthday when you see this, huh? Anyways, good morning, Barry, Bourbon, Chatty, good to see you, Jerry, Mandy, good to see you, June, Mary, Miles, Yorka, John, Mac420, Chad, Sherry, Fluxor, good to see you, Mac420 again, Sherry again, Ghost Patriot, Amber, Bendy, JC, good to see you, Kristen Hopkins, Mary, Miles, Rhoda Hog. Good to see all of you. Hello to everyone over on Foxhole. We've got Kendall, Dixie, Bong Matt, Campbell, the lovely Jillian, Daisy, Faction, Cricket Noises. Thank you all for being here. Hello to everyone on Foxhole as well. Let's see, we've got Josie Cooper, Smart Poker, Modini, and that's it. Thank you all for hanging out, and thank you all for supporting me here, still being here. Remember, Cash App, Buy Me Coffee, subscribe on Patreon. By the way, just an announcement, I'm banned from Twitter. Okay, Twitter is now honoring mass reports of specific accounts. I literally did nothing. Okay, okay, so first of all, for whatever reason, look, I have nothing but MAGA stuff posted on my account on Twitter, okay? But for some reason, Twitter likes to stuff my feed full of liberals, anti-Americans, anti-Trumpers, okay? So, you know, every once in a while you see something and you respond. So what did this person do? They retweeted me onto their account and had all of their followers mass bomb my account with reports. So I got banned from Twitter again. Yes, thankfully, Grace Chong, the CFO, Steve Bannon's CFO, was able to get my account at Getter fixed. Yeah. Thank you very much, the lovely Grace Chong. Thank you very much, Grace Chong. So if you guys are not aware of what happened to my Getter account, one, I got banned years ago for, you know, my opinions about a specific country that is currently some might call it Palestine, right? I got banned from streaming on Getter, okay? And then at some point my account was hacked to where I couldn't even log in, and when I logged in, it'll take me to some dummy account, you know? But thankfully, the wonderful Grace Chong, CFO of Steve Bannon, made some calls and got my account fixed. Not only that, I'm also able to live stream there now. Isn't that great? So, those of you on the left, you guys are dumb, okay? Oh, and by the way, now that I'm on Getter, I'm gonna have to dial down my opinions about Israel just a little. You don't want to upset the bosses, right? You don't want to upset the boss. And also, the leftists, the Islamists in Europe, or the European liberals, who got me banned from Twitter, by the way, they don't like me around anyways. So your enemies is kind of your friends sometimes, right? So we're gonna be on Getter. We're already live right now. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? There's Getter. There I am, live on Getter. It's working again, guys. You remember when I used to click save or done to kind of update it and it would say not allowed? Remember that? Yeah, that was fixed by Grace Chong, a CFO of Steve Bannon. Fix that for me. Thank you very much, Grace Chong. If I ever meet you, I owe you dinner. Okay? And whatever else you like to do after that. You know? Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so we're back. We're back on Getter. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So thank you. You know, by the way, Twitter wasn't doing much for me. I tell you that much. You know, I've been posting stuff every day, like multiple posts, and you know, I get like maybe one like, maybe one retweet, you know, in a day, and you know, it just hasn't been doing much for me because it's a heavily shadow banned platform. You know, if you're not an authorized tweeter, if you're not one of Elon's buddies, you don't get any exposure. I had Twitter Premium as well. Didn't work out for me very well. Didn't do anything for me. So going forward, you know, we have the European liberals. The European liberals has shifted the political ideology of this channel just a little bit. You know, we're still going to be fighting for what's right over what's wrong. That's always gonna stick. But you know, there's so many things to talk about. We're just gonna have to exclude talking about a very specific country that some people call Palestine, which again, Palestine has no water. I don't even know why that's the country anymore. But we are back. We're back on Getter. So if you guys are on Getter, give me a follow. I'll be uploading shorts there. They have a better shorts feed than Twitter anyways. Twitter, for whatever reason, their shorts are like, why do you insist on making it like twice as big as what I uploaded for maximum? I don't know. It's just annoying. It's been completely useless. So we are back here. They've got G Talk, which is their form of shorts. I'm also uploading shorts on Rumble. It's going to be a good time. All we've got to do now is just maybe, I don't know, ignore the central bankers here and there, you know? Tie it to someone else. Blame it on somebody else. Huh? Look at that. Sir Snail says, WTF, X is the best social. Yeah. Yeah, it's the best social that fills my feed full of liberals and leftists. Even, by the way, it was just like last week where Elon Musk was like, I hate the new Twitter algorithm. He said it himself. Okay, it's also a dying platform. This is why, if you guys are not aware of how Twitter's been operating, they've funneled all the traffic and all the income to people like Ian Miles Chung, Mario Nawfal, you know, Dom Lucre. All these guys who are, Dom Lucre, by the way, is a Freemason. Admitted, he has a ring, he posts pictures of it and everything. Okay, so they funneled all the traffic to them. So all the small accounts have just left. I mean, even Al Gorbachev shut down his account. And he's just gone. He's now back as Cheeky Edits, but I mean, his old account was just deleted, you know, and he's not connected enough to, you know, get it unbanned or whatever and get it restored. So he's just gone, you know. All the small creators are just gone, you know. And so now Twitter's trying to like revive itself and like, oh, we're going to change our monetization program and we're going to spread it out a little bit more now. So you guys can come right back. Everyone come back and start making content again so it doesn't die out, so it doesn't go dead. And guess what? It hasn't been working. It hasn't been working. The only thing that has happened is that big accounts like Breaking 911, you know, these guys right here, big accounts like this guys who used to make a ton of money, they've had to take like about a 90% pay cut, which is devastating their network, by the way, because they had a lot of people on payroll, scouring the world for news, putting it all on this page here. And now they have to open like a second and maybe even a third account to like make up for lost revenue. Oh, we have, instead of being one big account, we have to be a bunch of little accounts now. So you got guys like the Krasensteins. They've got left and right-wing accounts. Yeah. So that's how they're doing it now, because they're not able to survive off of by the way, the revenues from Twitter that is being reallocated to Grok. You know, the AI that doesn't really get things right at all. You know, you guys got to use Sogni, okay? SOGNI, Sogni.ai. They know what they're doing. Do video generation, image generation. They're supporting LLM soon. The good ones that are uncensored and legitimate, you know? Yeah. Not like Grok, who's just a complete anti-Semitic AI. I'm telling you guys on the left really know how to lose friends. I swear to God. Because at least I was vocal about what's right and wrong. I'm still going to do that. I'm just going to be looking the other way against my enemies' enemies now. Right? Because my enemies' enemies will help me destroy my enemies. Huh? And that's how we're going to do it now. That's how we are adjusting. You know, since the Twitter leftists don't want me around, I'll just be on Getter, the far right platform, right? Yeah. So that's how things are going to be changing these days, okay? So, yeah. Tara says, I treat X like my ex, no contact or interaction. Yeah, you're probably better off. You're probably better off not being on Twitter, be really honest with you. I mean, it's good for things like crypto, if you want to find crypto news, you know. But holy crap. Let's see, Rubio's threatening Iran. Okay, well, let's add that. That sounds interesting. Because they just had a kablooey today. Yeah, Iran just had a kablooey today. So, where is that at? Come on, there we go. All right, we'll park that right there. All right, we'll get going, guys. Our show will get going right meow. Here we go. Oops, I gotta move that out. All right, cool. First story of the day, the CEO of the World Economic Forum, who used to be Klaus Schwab, he stepped down a few years ago. This guy here, he has just stepped down. Yeah. Why? Because he showed up on the Epi files. Oh, the Epi files. Somebody is doing naughty things with a bunch of kids. That's really bad. And this is what he looks like. Get a gander. Burn that image into your face. We are here to shit on people who mess with kids, and that is gross. And people who, I don't know, start pandemics, sterilize the world, you know, alongside the Crown Princess of Norway, which, by the way, she's still not being investigated, even though others in Norway are. Yeah. So he's gone. I mean, again, when Klaus Schwab left, we knew it was not going to change anything. They're just going to have it's like if George Soros passed away, right? There's still Alex Soros. And even after he's gone, there's still all the Democrats and that entire Marxist regime that'll still take up after them. So it won't end. This is going to be a very long, drawn-out war. And unfortunately for the European liberals who support the World Economic Forum and the Party of Davos, they like to lose friends. They like to drive people into supporting anti-Islamists. Huh? Yeah. Next story. A Biden judge rules Trump's policy of deporting illegals to third-party countries is unconstitutional. Hell, you know what we should do then, Mr. President? Start outsourcing our prison system for U.S. citizens to said countries. Put the blacks in CCUT. Put the Mexicans in Eswatini. In Africa. Yeah. Should do that. Anyways, so that's what's going on there. I don't know. This is a low-level judge. I'm sure they just won't listen to them. They're not required to listen to them anyways. So, what is this? I'll have to deal with that later. Anyways. Next story. Let's see. Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll get rid of that. All right. Next story. This truck right here is driving in the wrong direction for quite a while, by the way. For quite a while.
Southbound 61.
Terrible.
He is on the northbound lanes of 61, going the wrong way.
Guess what citizenship he has? Not U.S. citizenship. Guess what language he speaks? Not English.
61. He's in the northbound lanes on Highway 61.
Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is going to end calmly. Put a 2 if you think he's going to wreck into somebody. You didn't want to stop, pull over, or anything like that? You're just going to keep going, huh? At least he's on the right lane, you know? Though, as in the right lane in his direction. Anyways. And now this guy filming it. You hear the wong. That's the singing roads, or the humming roads when you're falling asleep and veering off the lane. It goes wong to like wake you up. It shakes your car, makes a bunch of noise. Oh, look at that! Now he noticed. Now he noticed. Huh? You think you're getting away with this? I don't think so. Yeah. By the way, Sean Duffy did address this. He says, we have learned that a truck driver with a Minnesota CDL who could not read basic road signs spent miles driving the wrong way in an 80-ton truck. Thanks to Missouri law enforcement, this dangerous trucker is now out of service. FMCSA is also investigating the carrier, cargo transportation, and LLC. Look at that. Ooh, that company's in trouble. I'm telling you, you need to start finding companies heavily who knowingly employ people who are not competent for the job, or if they're just illegals. Okay? Yes, a person who does not speak English who's here illegally can probably ring up groceries at a store. However, it is taking a job from an American. Find that grocery store. If it's a big grocery store, you find them $100,000 per employee. If it's a mom and pop, you find them $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, whatever you think is fair. Go pull up their most recent taxes and just say, okay, well, it looks like they can afford a $30,000 fine without getting busted. And that's how you milk these companies who are screwing over American workers for profit margins. Okay? I'm sure they'll get around to that eventually, you know? A story? A German family who hosted a Muslim in their home faced a scary moment when, after his stay was meant to end, he reportedly refused to leave, pulled a knife out on all of them, and said, "This is my house now. You leave." Yeah.
Pass okay, ist alles okay, okay.
Pass auf,
Was hast du gesagt?
Okay, alles okay.
Was hast du gesagt?
Alles okay, habe ich okay.
Congratulations, Germans. This is what's become of your society now, huh? You know, you may lose your house, but at least you're not racist, huh? They're racist. They hate you. They hate whites, Christians, and Jews, right? And you know, but hey, at least you're not racist. You let this guy stay in your house. We're not racist, yeah. We're very friendly and inclusive, yeah. We eat chocolate and beer every day, yeah. Yeah.
Geht, ruf die Polizei.
Was ist denn?
Du hast das Messer in der Hand und hast bedroht
He's
hier die
staying.
Leute.
Oh yeah. Claim that house.
Guck mal, wir haben mit dir normal geredet, aber scheinbar. Du kannst auch nicht reden.
Und das Messer hier hinten, ne?
Die drohen mich hier raus, hä?
Hey.
Was wollt ihr? Raus hier!
Hey, komm.
Oh, he's got a knife. Do you like knives?
Heide,
Hat
komm!
hier keiner was zu suchen.
You're lucky there's not a C4 shop out there, huh?
Hey, du musst aufpassen.
Komm jetzt raus! Ich komme raus! Heide! Heide!
Komm, geh raus.
Na, hol was du!
Geh runter.
Come get out, yeah. You need to go, yeah. We're German, yeah. We're inclusive, yeah.
Er hat das Messer in der Hand und will hier die Männer abstechen. Ja. So, das Messer in der Hand und will die abstechen. Ich muss da aufpassen. Geht man mit raus. Der hat das Messer, der kommt jetzt runter. Geh mal
Come
raus.
on, when do we stab someone?
Ja. Polizei kommt ja nicht.
Was ist? Was auch du? Die drohen mich, was denn, hä? Was machst du mich, hä? Was brauchst du mich, ja? Wieder komm her.
Ich hab nur mit mir
Was hast du
geredet.
gesagt? Komm hier. Komm her.
Finger weg von ihm.
Was Finger weg, hä?
Kannst du nicht normal reden?
Was normal reden? Du drohst mich hier? Willst du auch raus hier oder was? Hä? Komm jetzt, hä?
Do it.
Du drohst du mich hier? Hä? Komm her!
You're still smoking a cigarette,
Wen
dude?
drohst du hier? Die drohen mich hier umzubringen, oder? Lässt du noch raus hier, du Fotze? Was hast du gesagt? Hä? Was hast du
Pass okay, ist alles okay, okay.
Pass auf.
Was hast du
Okay, you
gesagt?
stay.
Was hast du gesagt?
You
Hä?
have my daughter and my wife.
Wer geht, ruft die
And
Polizei.
have your way with them, yes. Wow. Wow, rest in peace, Germany, huh? Country with no army. Congratulations, such winners. Let's see. Next story. Denmark is revoking residence permits for some Syrian immigrants. Isn't that bizarre? That's a shocker to me. Denmark, what's happening? Might it have anything to do with your inability to defend Greenland, and now you got to reallocate funds to build an army in Greenland? Is that what it is? Look at that. Boy, you could fix a lot with tariffs, huh? All you got to do, by the way, all we have to do is threaten to take one of their islands. And now they're like, oh, okay, we'll make our country white again. They're obviously not gonna kick all of them out. They still love that walnut sauce, right? But they're gonna start, I guess, getting their immigration under control. Well, whatever's, you know. Rest in peace, Denmark. We're still gonna take Greenland. You know, you treat them like crap, they don't like you. Next story. Stephen N. Smith, I'm gonna call him that now. Stephen N. Smith calls out the Dems and says, how come it was okay to celebrate ICE when Obama was in office, but suddenly Trump is doing it and ICE needs to go? Here we go.
Yeah, you're talking about the border. Yeah, the border needed
could you just go back to sports? No one cares what you think.
to be closed, but that was because Biden opened it. If Biden had it opened and followed Obama, who deported more people than Trump did, in Obama's term in office, over 3.1 million people were deported. How come you didn't follow that, Joe Biden? How come you didn't follow that, Democrats? How come it was okay to celebrate ICE at that particular time when when Obama was in office?
So anyways, yeah, again, you know, broken clocks twice a day, you know, broken clocks are still right twice a day. Next story. The FBI raids home of far-left Los Angeles Unified School District superintendent. This is very disturbing. The fact that this guy's a superintendent of a school district and the feds had to raid him. Do you guys know, okay, when I was in Denver, I met a gal named Cassandra. Okay, she was allegedly a yoga instructor and a troubled youth counselor. She was living in a high-rise apartment, about $2,400 a month, and driving a brand new Mercedes ML. How can you afford stuff like that when you're just a yoga instructor and a troubled youth counselor? Why? Because a troubled youth counselor has access to children that are about to run away from home, right? So what do? You coerce them to run and say, hey, look, if you really want to go, I have a friend you can get in contact with, and they'll help you figure things out without your parents around. That way they don't have to tell you what to do and stuff, right? So, but you got to keep it a secret, okay? I'm helping you here. And then guess what? The kid goes off, starts hooking, you know, starts doing OnlyFans with the fake ID. People are donating money to people under 18, don't even know. And so that's what goes on. Anywhere where you have access to kids is a risk, and it is an opportunity for these pedos. And that's why the foster program has so many problems, and this is why churches have so many problems. Anywhere that has it's a place of trust, they get infiltrated by people like this. But yes, this did happen yesterday. This broke at the little bit after we ended the show yesterday. They not only did they raid the offices of LAUSD, they also raided the home of Alberto Cavalho. Alberto, you know, that race that likes to traffic kids with the cartels. You know, the Mexicans. Yes, Christy, thank you very much for chiming in on that one. Yeah. So very disturbing. I don't know there's not a lot of details about this, but we'll probably find out more. It's a lot of, I mean, when you get raided, this is really bad, right? Bill Mulligan says FBI LA confirms they are currently executing search warrants at 2 addresses, which a separate federal law enforcement source tells Fox News are the home and office of LA Unified School District Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. LAUSD is the second biggest school district in the country. We are told the underlying affidavit is in support of a search warrant is under seal. Oh, it's a sealed indictment here. So it's unclear what potential wrongdoing Cavalho may be suspected of. More as we get it. Yeah, so they keep this confidential for now because they're still under investigation, right? If they start talking about what they suspect, then obviously all of his partners are going to be like, oh, burn the evidence, so that when they raid them, they'll find nothing. So that's why you keep it quiet. The fact that the news even reported it should have been a no-no. But again, the government's not supposed to have control over the media, right? But Biden sure did. Anyways, I hope these kid diddlers get put away. Next story. Yesterday, JD Vance and Mehmet Oz did a presser. They're actually finally putting JD Vance to work. They've been hearing my calls and saying, dude, this guy's not doing anything. Why is he going to be president in 2028? Should be Marco Rubio, you know? And so they're giving him a job. He is now the fraud czar. Yes, JD Vance is now going to be committing massive fraud. I'm kidding. He's going to be looking to identify fraud and taking a hammer to it. Which, by the way, can I just say, this is still domestic affairs, and that's not what the president does. I still think he'd be great Senate Majority Leader, back to where he was, but as the leader, I think he'd be great as Speaker of the House, which, by the way, is a one rank up from a Senate Majority Leader. I think he'd be great at that, because he's definitely great at domestic affairs, but when it comes to international affairs, there's no one like Marco Rubio. There's no one like the guy who's been regime-changing awful countries for the past 2 decades. I think it should be Marco Rubio. He already knows everyone abroad. You know, I'm glad we're finally seeing JD Vance do something. I've been getting tired of trashing him. He is a good dude, but he's just not my vision for this upcoming president. Maybe 2032, maybe 2036 after Rubio. But Rubio is what we need right now. Our biggest threat right now, our biggest immediate local threat is the cartel. Okay, obviously they're in the pockets of the CCP, and they're the main threat. They're the end goal. They're the end game. And there's no other better person than a Spanish-speaking president to gain support of Hispanic Americans to go after the Latin American cartels. You have a blue-eyed president issue orders to invade Mexico, you're going to get a lot of domestic protests. Okay, from people who look similar to people in Mexico. The Mexicans. Anyways, so they did we're gonna watch the whole thing, by the way, because I'm sure it was pretty good. JD Vance says we have decided to temporarily halt certain amounts of Medicaid funding that are going to the state of Minneapolis in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money. What is that amount? That amount is oh crap, where is it? Okay, let's just go back to this one. Maybe he says it here. I thought I heard the number, but I figured if I read the quote, why play it? But here we go. Here's JD Vance working.
We're announcing today that we have decided to temporarily halt certain amounts of Medicaid funding that are going to the state of Minnesota in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money. Now, what is this going to mean? What this means is that, first of all, the providers on the ground in Minnesota have actually already been paid. The state has paid those providers the money. What we're doing is we are stopping the federal payments that will go to the state government until the state government takes its obligations seriously to stop the fraud that's being perpetrated against the American taxpayer.
Okay, so we got that. Mehmet Oz says criminals are paying moms $1,000 to enroll their kids in falsely as autistic when they are not. And then they're billing Medicaid for services to treat this kid, and they're not actually rendering any of these services.
Let me share some of these horrible stories. The vice president started highlighting autism. Let's get into the details of what's really going on in Minnesota. These are real cases from our group at CMS. These are adjudicated numbers. There's a fraud scheme in Minnesota where criminals, soon to be criminals, pay moms $1,000 roughly in order to enroll their children as being autistic, falsely, dishonestly claiming their children are autistic. They then bill Medicaid, this has already happened, millions of dollars for services that were never rendered, never delivered by a qualified staff member. These schemes disproportionately involve immigrant communities. They're insulated, they're able to organize efforts, and sometimes they don't understand what's going on. And it ultimately diverts resources away from kids who truly have autism. Because if every kid in the neighborhood has autism, then nobody has autism in terms of how you can manage them. There was one behavioral, and by the way, these kids, they carry that diagnosis of autism the rest of their lives. Their mom made a bad decision, the kid pays the price for the rest of their life. There's one behavioral health organization, Mr. Vice President, in Minnesota. They received $11.5 million in Medicaid payments, but the top biller submitted 450 days where they claimed they were working more than 24 hours a day. I mean, even in the White House, that's tough. It's hard to work more than 24 hours a day. How it didn't get picked up is shocking to us at CMS. There are other red flags in Minnesota, including hundreds of beneficiaries receiving treatment linked to one location, which was impossible physically to be true. We had 8 beneficiaries in one of these substance use disorder centers, 8 who were already dead, but the center was still billing us. Not only did they let the person pass, they kept billing for it. That's the level of average we're talking about. So CMS is done paying and chasing. We don't think jail sentences are the right way out. These criminals flee the country. Many are foreign nationals. Instead, we're launching the largest action against fraud that we've ever taken. The money's not going to ever leave the building again. We're going to start draining the swamp of the crooks that have inhabited it and are defrauding us. Let me share.
Good stuff. We're going to watch that whole presser over on Rumble, okay? It's 36 minutes long. Next story. There was a big snow fight out in Washington Square Park. This is in New York City. And people, you know, obviously you still gotta be babysat because, again, these are a bunch of kids. We want to make sure nothing bad's happening to these kids, right? Well, cops were there to, you know, make sure things don't get too rowdy, that people are not throwing hard objects, that they're just throwing. This guy right here forced the cops to play snow fight. Okay, throwing tons of snow at them. Like, I mean, I'm talking about, look at that big gigantic ball of snow. Okay, and by the way, it wasn't just him, it was a number of them. Okay, the cops are not participating, but they sure made the cops participate. That is assault. Okay, it is not. They are not a mutual combatant in snowballing. Okay, not to mention, all you got to do is push the snow packet tight enough, pour some water on it, and you got a very dangerous block of ice, which I'm sure they do plenty of. So they were trying to look for him. They asked Mom Donnie about it, and this was his explanation about the snowball fight.
Police department put out 4 pictures of people they're looking for, saying that they may have assaulted police officers. I wonder what your reaction to that is, if you think that they should be prosecuted if they're caught, and if you've talked to the police commissioner about that.
So I stay in regular touch with my police commissioner, and I appreciate the work that she's doing. You know, I've said time and time again that having seen these videos, to me, it was a snowball fight that got out of hand.
So he's saying it's just a snowball fight that got out of hand. Those cops did not opt in, guy. Okay? You know what you call sex when one person doesn't opt in? It's called rape. That's a crime. Yeah. Anyways, they finally got them. This person's been arrested. His name is Guzman Kalabali. Violently smashed these snowballs into the faces of NYPD officers. Also, only 3 weeks ago, he was arrested for attempted robbery. I wonder why he's out in the streets. Might it have to do with him being under 18? Might have to do with their lax crime policies in New York? Probably. But at least they got him.
The N-word.
Next story. Ooh, look at this one. The Secret Service removes a gun from the home of a retired professor who stated that he wanted to shoot President Trump at a city council meeting. This person right here. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, what's wrong, Democrats? Gun laws come back to bite ya. You know, the gun laws that you started to, you know, to stop gun violence. Yeah. I like how you guys call it gun violence, but when someone gets lynched, you don't call it rope violence and ban ropes. I don't understand that. You know? It doesn't seem like the white supremacists are the problem. It sounds like it's a ropes problem, you know? But we got to ban assault rope, you know? All right, guys?
I have ordered a high-power ATL 36X arriving shortly.
Ooh.
Which I hope to actually use to shoot the President of the United States. I'm not kidding. This is
Mr. Arnold.
A very high, powerful item, and it's great for a hit.
It said getting a death threat from Milton from Office Space, you know, the red stapler guy.
Headshot, and it just...
I believe you have a stapler. I'm going to torch this place down.
Distance. And I
don't know if you guys ever, those of you who've seen that movie, I don't know if you heard that, but he said it very quiet. I want my stapler back, or I'll burn this building down. You know, he's like, you know, he says it very quietly, and then he eventually does it. Ah.
I didn't want to.
Oh, and if I just ruined the movie for you, tough shit, you had 20 years to watch it. Okay? It's not a new movie. It's been around forever.
To be delivered by drone, because I wouldn't want something like that to be in the wrong hands. That's it. Thank you.
You sure got him. Yeah. Someone banned staplers from this guy as well. He's going to start burning buildings. Next story. The Clintons are in D.C. today. They are testifying with the House Oversight Committee about their involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. However, unfortunately, because James Comer, Rhino from Kentucky, is still covering up for the files, it is not publicized as the Clintons wanted it to be public. They wanted it to be on camera and broadcasted live. And Comer's like, I got a lot of friends on that list. I'm from Kentucky, not Tennessee. Kentucky's where the rhinos are at. I'm not really one of the Republicans. I got to cover up for my Democrat friends. Yeah.
The obviously most attention is with Bill Clinton, who was on this plane of Epstein at least 16 times. There's some very embarrassing photos that have come out in these files. But today, Hillary Clinton will face some equally difficult questions when it comes to their global initiative and foundation. Epstein seems to have played a role in helping the Clintons in that area. And also, Hillary Clinton had a relationship with Maxwell. And while both of them have tried to distance themselves as all of these files came out, Maxwell was invited to her daughter's wedding. So this was not a arm's length relationship. The obviously most attention.
All right. Next story. Biden FBI obtained the phone records of Kash Patel and Susie Wiles during the Trump classified docs investigation. Ooh. That's probably why they're so panicky. A lot of people believe that Susie Wiles is the real president. She's his handler. And even Trump himself has once said that, Susie Wiles, she can destroy any country with one call. I don't even think I can do that. Yeah. But yeah, wow. So they must have been spying on her phone and knowing what their plans were, to dismantle the swamp, to go after the globalists, to take Greenland, to kidnap Maduro, right? Holy crap. Yeah. So they found that out. They're not happy. The Biden FBI under Christopher Wray obtained phone records of Kash Patel and Susie Wiles in 2022 and 2023, while both of them were private citizens, leading to Jack Smith's witch hunt against Trump. Wow.
The FBI Director Kash Patel out with an allegation that the prior FBI obtained his phone records, and not only his. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, by the way, 10 FBI agents were fired for this. He just fired them yesterday.
Brett, this has been breaking in the last hour or so. We are told that, according to Kash Patel, the FBI director, the prior bureau leadership obtained his phone records and phone records to current White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles back in 2022 and 2023. This eventually led into the Jack Smith special counsel investigation into then former President Donald Trump. We're told that some of these records are just toll records, which don't have specific information other than times and dates. They don't have the actual content of calls, but two sources in the FBI say that Susie Wiles' attorney agreed to be recorded by FBI agents in 2023. She did not agree. We've reached out to her for comment. FBI Director Patel, in a statement to Fox News, calls this outrageous and deeply disturbing. And I will add, Brett, that we are told at least 10 Bureau employees have been fired just today over this incident, with more potentially to come.
Well, at least 10. Wow. I'll tell you what, Kash, maybe you should call Pam and tell her to actually arrest and charge these people. You don't get to break the law because your boss told you to. Next story. Democrat Congresswoman mock and laugh at the historic veterans in which Trump gave medals to during the State of the Union. This is they. Again, clearly anti-American. You can tell by their first of all, you can tell by the length of their hair. They are women. They're easily compromised. They're selfish. They care mainly about themselves. You can also tell by how dark they are. Generally, the darker they are, the easier they are to buy out. And this is why the globalists who tried to destroy America propped them up at the top of our society. Okay? Easy buyouts here.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal.
That's literally, Mo just said, you get a car, you get a car. Y'all are on the same page.
Meanwhile, when Bill Gates got a medal from Obama, they didn't say anything about it, right?
The N-word.
Next story. Democrat Representative Seth Moulton invited an illegal Beancake McGee to Trump's State of the Union. His chief of staff hid him in Moulton's office to dodge enforcement. Is this not considered felony harboring?
And he was brought to the State of the Union address last night by his congressman, Democrat Seth Moulton. But Congressman Moulton's chief of staff, Nisha Suarez, noticed this tweet from the Department of Homeland Security during the State of the Union address. Representative Moulton plans to bring illegal alien Marcelo Gomez da Silva. Gomez da Silva is an illegal alien who has no right to be in our nation. We are committed to enforcing the law and fighting for the arrest, detention, and removal of aliens like him. The Boston Globe reports Gomez was escorted out of the chamber by Moulton's chief of staff, Nisha Suarez. Suarez, who drove Gomez to Washington, was concerned about the heavy law enforcement presence while the teen was alone in the House gallery without his phone.
Yeah. Also, U.S. Capitol Police arrested someone who was an Ilhan Omar State of the Union guest. This person... the reason why they got arrested because they refused to stop standing and blocking others in the gallery during Trump's speech. So that's like the, I guess like the outer area. So she's blocking people. This was the same person, by the way, who was arrested in Minneapolis for impeding ICE operations. Remember the lady who was dragged out of her car? Same person.
Is that this is an ongoing fear.
This person in this car right there, okay, who is blocking ICE operations, is this person here at the State of the Union. Now, and that's Melania right there. How dangerous is that?
Ongoing fear and threat for people around this country. What happened to me is absolutely not new in the history of this country, and we have not seen accountability that gives me any reason to believe this won't be done to somebody else.
Wow, that's her getting kicked out. Why are you wearing a mask? I thought the pandemic was over.
So that's what I'm thinking about today. And honestly, I'm glad that it's me sitting in that seat rather than somebody who's cheering for what happened to me.
Can you imagine? You know, if we had the balls to be as dirty as the Democrats, you know what we could do? Declare a pandemic emergency in high-density counties, you know, at the last minute just before the election where they don't have time to get their mail-in ballots, you know? And like, you just go vote if you can, you know? If we're locked down, but you go vote. We're locked down, but go vote. Okay? Blue counties, because that's where it's spreading, because you guys live shoulder to shoulder there. 4 people to a bedroom, 2 bunk beds. Good Lord. Next story. A bombshell dossier details sweeping corruption by the big booger himself, J.B. Pritzker, including quid pro quo deals, fraud, lawfare, bankrolling, a convicted felon ignoring child abuse reports, and ties to the Epstein family. Ooh. By the way, remember we talked about the was it the CEO of the Hyatt or whatever, who had to resign because they were in the Epstein files? His last name is Pritzker. That is apparently his brother. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot to dig through here. This is from the Data Republican. It's a very lengthy thread. Oh, let's go through this. Illinois J.B. Pritzker is positioning himself as a Democrat hero of 2028. But before the national press crowns him, let's look at what he's built. As always, patience as I pull the thread together. This is Data Republicans, okay? By the way, this new account I'm using, I'm not gonna post anything other than it's my crypto account. So I'm not going to be retweeting or posting anything political. If you want political, go to Getter. Okay, my new Getter that's been restored by the lovely Grace Chung. Thank you very much. Anyways, yeah, you'll be able to find it over on Data Republicans page. But in 2008, FBI wiretaps caught J.B. Pritzker on the phone multiple times trading political appointment strategies. On tape, Pritzker advised on who should fill Barack Obama's vacated Senate seat. And he says, in quotes, the only reason to do it is if he'll appoint you to something. Next, he says, what did Pritzker want in return? He wanted State Treasurer Alexei Giannolias appointed to the Senate, which would have opened the treasurer slot for J.B. Pritzker. He was lobbying for a state appointment. This is on tape. So in other words, he's governor. He's got a treasurer. He wanted the treasurer to be appointed to the Senate seat to vacate the seat so he could put his person in there so that he can run all the corruption. Also on tape, Pritzker discussing which black politicians were acceptable for the Senate seat. He apologized for the regrettable language. He has never apologized for what he was doing on those calls. In 2017, Pritzker's group, Venture Capital, heavily invested in the Chicago health tech firm named Outcome Health. Later that year, the Wall Street Journal reported that 3 employees at Outcome Health had misrepresented information to advertising clients, but said that there was no evidence of senior management. There's no evidence senior management knew of the misconduct. So again, the company's called Outcome Health. In other words, Medicaid fraud, Obamacare fraud. You guys get it? Outcome Health was forced to settle and give investors a controlling equity stake valued hundreds of millions of dollars, but that wasn't enough. After having already settled in 2020, Pritzker helped federal prosecutors go after the company's founders on trumped-up criminal charges and now stands to personally benefit to the tune of tens of millions of dollars in restitution for his firm. Thanks to Pritzker's meddling in 2023, the founders of Outcome Health were tried again by Biden's DOJ after the DOJ illegally seized millions from them and forced them to hire cheaper lawyers. Prosecutors personally drafted witness testimony and had them recite it on the stand. But those same witnesses were noted by court to have undisputed motive to testify falsely after securing immunity on reduced sentences from the prosecutors. Now you know why this case was tried under Biden. Again, the same reason why they tried Ray Epps, okay? Get him a slap on the wrist so that you can't double jeopardy them. Pritzker waged a campaign of lawfare against others for political and financial gain, weaponizing the courts to receive up to $50 million in restitution for a case he already settled. J.B. Pritzker, worth $3.6 billion, had the toilets removed from his Chicago mansion to dodge a $331,000 property tax bill. You read that correctly. He had toilets removed to dodge a tax bill. The Cook County Inspector General called it a scheme to defund taxpayers. A billionaire who would spend $171 million on his own campaign couldn't pay a $331,000 in property taxes. I mean, I guess is it something like what Greece does? If you ever been to Greece, like if you find a 3-story building, you'll notice there's some stuff on the 4th floor, but not really. And what they do is they build a building. Oh, we were planning to do a 3-story building. They make it 4, but they never finish the 4th story because as long as that building's never finished, you don't pay property taxes. So every building in Greece just it's completed all except the top floor. Might be what the toilet thing's about. Anyways, who directed it? His wife, M.K. Pritzker, had workers remove the toilets, made the house uninhabitable. Okay, so I was right about this. And got the tax break. Then had one toilet reinstalled after the inspection. Federal investigators opened a probe in 2019. No charges were filed. The Pritzker administration later gave the contractors who removed the toilet seats nearly $9 million in a COVID Army Corps contract. Pay to play in the most literal sense imaginable. After winning the 2018 election, Governor-elect Pritzker donated $7 million to House Democrats under Speaker Michael Madigan's control. $4 million in late October and early November 2018. Another $2.5 million to Senate Democrats. So now you know why they don't seem to care about the constituents as well. They don't need the constituents for campaign contributions. They know they can win without donations. They got Smurf donations, right? Who is Michael Madigan? The longest serving state House Speaker in U.S. history and a convicted federal felon. On July of 2025, Madigan was found guilty on racketeering and bribery. October 2025, he reported to federal prison to serve 7 years. Pritzker was his largest donor. Madigan's crime was running a bribery operation where ComEd funneled $200 million in fines and favors to Madigan allies in exchange for favorable legislation. And there's just a whole lot more to this, so go ahead and look for him on Twitter. I'm not going to go through all this. Wow. This is a lot. This is the longest thread I've ever seen. That's got to be like 24 posts. Jeez. Wow. Next story. Florida House Democrats oppose a bill honoring Charlie Kirk. They insist that he was not assassinated but died from gun violence. Well, I hate to tell you this, but those blacks who got hung for committing crimes were not lynched. It was a result of rope violence. And y'all should have banned assault ropes a long time ago if you didn't want it to happen. Yeah, of course, it's one of these.
The N-word.
To say that. That's awful. Awful, awful. We got a lot of cleanup to do in Florida. And they're one of our best states. Next story. Lawmakers were warned that the World Cup host cities could face catastrophic security risks if nearly $900 million in frozen federal funding is not released within weeks. So, yeah, this is happening in June. World Cup, and they hope it happens in a variety of cities all over North America. I think there's like 20 or 30 cities in the United States, 1 in Canada, and 3 in Mexico. Oh, and by the way, the travel warning to Mexico has already been lifted. Isn't that crazy? As soon as word went out that there was massive cartel violence all across Mexico because El Mencho got caught. Well, not caught. He got put down because El Mencho got put down. The FIFA World Cup leader guy who gave, by the way, you know, the Nobel Peace Prize. FIFA has their peace prize now, and Trump got the first one. Yeah, Trump got the first one, and when they caught wind of this, they're like, "Oh, we got to really consider moving it somewhere else." And as soon as people start talking about that, Claudia Sheinbaum was like, "Oh, no, everything's going to be okay. We're going to get into securities. We're only burning Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, where the Americans are, the tourists." Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Here's the hockey game in New Jersey. Governor Mike Sherrill got booed. Mickey Sherrill got booed like crazy. And by the way, this was a team in which I believe Josh Hughes plays for normally when he's not at the Olympics.
Partner David and Allison Blitzer, and New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill, and First Gentleman Jason Henry. The Blitzer family is here to announce that the New Jersey Devils organization is making an $86,000 donation. Partner.
That's crazy. I mean, you boo all your governors, but you keep voting them in. What is wrong with you guys? Watch less sports. Pay attention to more politics. Good Lord. Next story. A cop killer who's been sentenced to life without parole is registered to vote and still votes from jail. Currently remains on Michigan's permanent absentee voter list. This is the guy, Joshua Ballman. Still voting, huh? Yeah. Earliest release date life. Wow. Still voting. This is the guy who popped off, Lieutenant Joel Wood. So sad. That's the wife. Oh, that's his daughter. Yep. So a lot of cleanup. We need a lot of cleanup. Oh, look at this. Look at this absentee ballot. Absentee. Yes, that's him. Oh, he gets a ballot, guys. Let me guess, you're going to be voting Democrat because they're probably the ones that'll let you out, right? With $0 bail the next time you get caught for something like this. Awful, awful. Michigan. God, I gotta love Patty McMurray's articles. Look at this. Well, if you're a reader, you gotta follow Patty McMurray. Very, very thorough investigatory work here. Not my cup of tea because I don't like reading, but boy, look at all this detail. Look at all this. She looked all this up and put on a nice little article for you all. Patty McMurray of Michigan, probably the best investigator of election fraud in Michigan. Yeah. Sorry. Senate Leader John Thune confirms he is forcing a vote on the Save America Act. Now, this is just what he says. I don't think he means it, though. And I'll show you why in just a bit. Yeah, dick pills. Who wants some dick pills, guys? Yeah, no, I'm not sponsored by them, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. What is that? Oh, drink ice with freaking candle wax. I know, fix your asshole real quick, guys. Anyways, here's him on Fox News grandstanding again like he's going to do anything about the Save America Act. Here we go.
And if so, when?
Well, we will. We'll put the Democrats on the record. And it's a stark contrast, Aisha. The Democrats, even in the chamber last night, having to sit there and try and defend allowing non-citizens to vote in American elections. That is a losing proposition for them. So we will get a vote on it. And we are right now in the middle of a government shutdown, so we've got to try and get the government opened up first. But in due time, we will get that up on the floor. We will have a vote on it. We will make sure that the Democrats are on the record. It is a stark contrast between Republicans and Democrats about how they want to handle elections in this country. And this is going to put them, I think, in a very difficult position. It's an issue, if I were running as a Democrat in the midterm elections in November, I wouldn't want to have to defend.
Yeah. So anyways, he says that he's going to be doing the SAVE Act. However, look at this.
Oh, yes.
The Senate is having a dog show.
You have been hanging around the Senate, but
his excuse was, oh, we don't have time to bring the SAVE Act to the floor because there's going to be a talking filibuster, and that could take days. But we have plenty of time for this dog show here. Now, nothing against dogs, but they're on the clock. They're supposed to be working, but they're not. This is what they're doing in the Senate. Yeah.
everybody knows Baby Dog's story, right?
Yeah. Awful. By the way, let's just a partial shutdown real quick. What is this about? No, we don't need to hear from him. He's stupid. That's space related, probably a green screen. What is this? Senator John Barrasso says, speaks about the DHS shutdown, says that 260,000 people are currently working without pay. But this is because the Democrats shut down the DHS, which, by the way, does not shut down ICE. Yeah, it's 10 minutes. We're not going to play this. Anyways, next story. Senator Mike Lee, great state of Utah, exposed that there is no agreement at all within the Republicans that they're going to be passing the SAVE Act. They're going to have this excuse and that excuse. He's saying, beware of anyone claiming that talking filibuster does not provide a viable strategy for passing the Save America Act. They may try to hide behind the complexity of the Senate rules, make them show their work. This could work. It needs to work. We got to get this done.
Look, I get it. The Senate rules are complicated. They're intimidating to some people, but it's all the more reason why you should be deeply suspicious of senators telling you, sorry, we can't get the Save America Act passed because the Senate rules won't allow it. And then you ask the follow-up question, what about the talking filibuster? If they then say, sorry, it won't work, make them show their work. Make them establish why it is that it can't be done. It's awfully easy for somebody who can hide behind the complexity of the Senate rules to tell you that they don't want to do something by claiming that they can't do something. So Make them show their work. The truth is, this could work, and it needs to work. We got to get this done.
Awesome. At least we got one good senator out of Utah, huh? Next story. Cuba claims that it took... Okay, so here's what happened. There was a boat headed to Cuba. The Cuba military slaughtered everyone on a boat. I believe like 4 are dead and like 11 more injured. They're claiming... Cuba is claiming that the passengers on that boat, which was registered to the U.S., Cuban soldiers opened fire on, and they said they're claiming that the people on the boat were armed and were Cubans living in the U.S. who were trying to infiltrate the island and unleash terrorism. Okay. First of all, well, okay, I guess this would be civilians, right? This, by the way, if let's say if the Cubans are right, this would mean that these are like our CIA guys. And probably our black ops guys, guys in regular civilian attire, pretending to be just tourists. Oh, we're just traveling to Cuba. We just want to check it out, and then get slaughtered. They're alleging that these guys shot first. I don't think that they would do something like that. That sounds like an awfully risky thing to do. When I first heard about it, I thought it might have been a false flag. Oh, we're going to say that a bunch of people were slaughtered on a boat. Meanwhile, there was no one on there. We're going to talk on behalf of Cuba and say, oh yeah, we got them. We got them. But it could have been CIA agents, right? On reconnaissance out in Cuba. But yeah, I don't know what to think about this. But Cuban says on the morning of February 25th, a violating speedboat was detected within Cuban international waters. The vessel registered in Florida with registration number approached up to 1 nautical mile northeast of El Pino Channel in Cayo Falcones, when a surface unit in a border guard troops of the ministry carrying 5 service members approached the vessel for identification. The crew of the speedboat opened fire on the Cuban personnel, resulting in injury of the commander of the Cuban vessel. As a consequence of the confrontation, at the time of this report, 4 aggressors on the foreign vessel were killed and 6 were injured. The injured, 10 people, that's a big boat. It takes a lot to house 10 people and plus weapons, right? The individuals were evacuated and received medical assistance. In the face of current challenges, Cuba reaffirms its determination to protect its territorial waters. So that's what they're saying. Marco Rubio did say that he's going to be investigating this. So we'll see what happens. He is a Cuban American, by the way. That's a weird one. I could have sworn there'd be something happening already, but no. This didn't get a lot of attention. Got really buried underneath the Iranian stuff. Next story. New report claims UK officers drove police cars to help traffic vulnerable British girls to Pakistani rape gangs. Yeah, guys, the British police are in on it, and this is why they love arresting white Christian people. This is why they like to protect mosques, because they're in on it. You've been sold out by your own government. And this, by the way, this is the end result of very strict gun laws. All right? You don't have the option to threaten your government because they're the ones with all the guns. You're done. You're finished. The best chance for you to become a Christian nation again is for Russia to conquer the United Kingdom, which is well on its way, right? Well on its way. Yeah. Yeah, if you're not aware, they finally did a rape gang inquiry and released the report, and that's what came out on the report right there, was that the cops were in on it. But unfortunately, they won't be prosecuted. In fact, they'll probably be knighted, like Jimmy Savile was, so that you can't question them. Again, I don't know why we send our kids to die for this continent. Next story. John Fetterman says that we have a unique opportunity to topple the Iranian regime, and I agree. I wasn't in agreement with all this for a while, and the reason why was because I didn't want another 20-year war. However, seeing as how well Trump handled Venezuela, starting and ending that war in 3 hours, I'll give him a shot. I think Trump is a better person to do it. But why? Because if someone else does it, it might very well be a 20-year war. Why? Because you make more money in a 20-year war, right? Can you imagine how pissed off Raytheon must be that the Venezuelan war ended in 3 hours? They've got to be so mad. I bet their stock plummeted that day. You know? Here we go.
And I also think that the Iranian regime, everything that we read and see, that the regime has been the weakest that they've been in decades right now. So I think we have a unique opportunity to topple it or to install a better way forward for Iran. So I'm open to that. And now I think I've heard that we are going to bring the Iranian war powers bill up tomorrow. And I just said that I'm going to vote that down again because
Vote it down. Yeah, the Democrats are trying to put together a Iranian war powers bill that's going to stop Trump from attacking Iran. The Democrats are. Hey, AIPAC, you better get your Democrats in line. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're supposed to have bought out every politician out there. The Democrats are stabbing you in the back. It sounds like they all need to be primaried. You know, how about take some fake Democrats? We'll call them dinos, Democrat in name only, and just implant them all over the Democrat Party. You know, the same thing you did to the Republicans. Good Lord. Let's get this show on the road. Let's go.
the president absolutely needs to have the flexibility to have those kind of targeted kinds of, so I absolutely support that as a Democrat, but as someone, I think that's the right thing in the region. And I also...
Yeah. So there's that. By the way, Iran has been rapidly loading an unusually high amount of oil into tankers, possibly in preparation for a looming U.S. attack. So there's that happening. By the way, U.S. and Iran right now is they have a meeting today. They already had the first part, and I think they're doing lunch right now. They're going to meet again later today. They met with Marco Rubio. I'm sorry. No, they didn't. They met with someone. But Marco Rubio has warned that there will be a big problem if Iran refuses to negotiate. He says that right here.
To achieve intercontinental ballistic missiles. For example, you've seen them try to launch the satellites into space. You've seen them increasing the range of the missiles they have now. And clearly they are headed in the pathway to one day being able to develop weapons that could reach the continental U.S. They already possess weapons that could reach much of Europe already now as we speak. And the ranges continue to grow every single year exponentially, which is amazing to me. For a country that's facing sanctions, whose economy's in tatters, whose people are suffering, and somehow they still find the money to invest in missiles of greater and greater capacity every year. This is an unsustainable threat.
Good stuff. By the way, we're going to watch that whole presser, the whole Q&A here. I just added it to our watch party today. We're going to be doing that. As well as JD Vance and Mehmet Oz talking about the fraud that they're stopping. Anyways, this morning there was a massive kaboom in an industrial complex in Iran, in the city of Abad. Look at this. That's huge. This just happened to happen during the lunch break that they were having during the negotiations in Europe. Yeah, their envoy's meeting with our envoy. So I don't know if this is a warning shot or an accident or what, but if this is not an accident, I'm gonna assume that first 3 hours did not go over very well. Next story. We already talked about that. Next story. The DOJ announced the arrest of a former U.S. Air Force pilot that has been taking money to train the Chinese military pilots. Yeah. And by the way, I covered this 2 or 3 years ago during the Biden administration. We had some expose about this. We're like, what the heck? This guy's a retired U.S. Air Force pilot, and he's training. He's literally taking money to train Chinese pilots. And I'm guessing at the time he might have gotten the green light from Biden's generals, but our generals say no, and this is treason. Because what do you have to train them in other than what you know that's top secret that is not on YouTube? Right? So this guy's name is Gerald Eddie Brown Jr. He's 65 years old, arrested on Wednesday in Jeffersonville, Indiana. The 24-year Air Force veteran was charged by criminal complaint for providing and conspiring to provide defense services to Chinese military pilots without authorization. And this is in violation of the Arms Export Control Act, AECA. So he is in trouble. Ooh, look at that. Kash Patel announced it. Major story: the FBI and our partners have arrested a former U.S. Air Force pilot who allegedly training pilots in the Chinese military. Shame on you, buddy. I'm telling you, there's too many sellouts, man. Too many sellouts. We really need to start making an example out of some of these people. 3 hots in a cot and free healthcare at Gitmo is not good enough. Put them in the ground. Put them underneath the prism. Next story. A hacker used Anthropic's Claude chatbot to attack multiple government agencies in Mexico. This hacker exploited the chatbot to breach the government systems in Mexico, stealing 150 gigabytes of government data, including taxpayer and voter info. Ooh. According to Gambit Security, the attacker used AI to find vulnerabilities, generate attack scripts, and bypass safeguards through repeated jailbreak attempts. The hacker also reportedly used OpenAI's ChatGPT to navigate networks, identify needed credentials, and evade detection. Wow, ChatGPT, you guys are real pieces of shit, you know that? First, you got your by the way, it's made by OpenAI, you know, Sam Altman's company. ChatGPT in the past has advised kids to off themselves. Yeah. Oh, our safety. Look at that. OpenAI says it's detected policy violations and the chatbot refused to comply. So you do have policies, you do have regulations, you do have censorship. But you're not discouraging kids from offing themselves. That's great to know. OpenAI. Good Lord. I gotta tell you, Gemini's looking better and better all the time, man. Or better yet, use Sogni.ai. SOGNI.ai. They are going to be supporting LLM soon. Next story. This guy right here goes around snatching people's cell phones. Hold on. This guy right here snatches people's cell phones and records himself doing so. Look at that. This is life in the UK now. This is what they do. Yeah. No, he ain't getting caught. Nope. Nope. Yeah, you know why they don't care? Because no one gets in trouble there. Here's another one. Bam, he yanked the phone right there. Two of them. Do you see that? He took both dudes' phones. And he just runs. And he uploads it. There's another one right there. And he uploads it. Because no one ever gets in trouble in this country anymore. Meanwhile, we're sending our children to fight and die for them. To do that. Yeah. Rest in peace, London. Next story. Ooh, look at this. This is a volcano. Hold on. This is a volcano in San Juan de Urabá. Look at this. Oh my God! That is not war. That is a volcano. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's big, guys. That's very big. That doesn't look like a bomb, huh? Wow. So this is the aftermath. The ground is cracked. That's how big the explosion was. Look at that. Ooh. That's freaking huge. Wow. That's not the only one that went off. There's another oh shoot, I don't have it anymore. There's another one in the Philippines that went off. Yeah, so it's going to be a cold winter this coming year. Anyways. Where we at? This car right here in the circle is distracted drivingly. Look what happens. Whoa! Look at that. Let me redo that. Where are we at? Right here? This car on the right here is driving while gambling on his phone. Oh! Look at that. Look at that. Bam. Did you win? Oh, geez. Next story. This is a guy who drove his truck into an automated car wash. he unfortunately had a spool of steel wire in his truck bed, which got tangled up in the machine. Oh, and scratched the next car coming in. What a mess. What a mess that's going to be. Is that you? Is that you? Are you the guy that did this? Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's a bad idea there. Wow. Congratulations. You're getting sued. This guy here managed to flood a lake. Look at this. He went to go ice fishing, right? He set up camp. He's got his heater there. He's got his carpet. He drilled a hole, and a bunch of water just starts coming up. Bizarre, right? I never knew that this could be a problem. I think you just find a spot, you drill a hole, and you just fish away. But apparently, no. I want to say it's high tide, low tide, but it's a lake, so there's no tides, right? So, very odd to see something like that happen. Anyways, guys, I got 2 other channels, Frank's Show Clips as well as Frank's Funny Shorts. Link to both of those are in the description. Please support those if you can. Watch all the videos when you do. Ring the bell for notifications. And by the way, you can find the video from the other day where we talked about that super racist professor, and we went over everyone's facial reactions on that little Zoom meeting for like 14 minutes. It was hilarious. You guys should check that out. But by the way, hit the like button, share it out, share that out, share this stream out here. We're going to head over to Rumby now. You know what to do. Go to my website, thenpcshow.com. We got Foxhole. We got Rumby right there. I got to add Getter on here. Because Getter. Hey, thank you, Getter. Thank you, Grace Chung, for helping me out with that. Anyways, we'll see you guys over there. We've got Marco Rubio's presser that he just did while on break in Europe. They got a negotiation, I think, going on with Iran. And then we also have JD Vance and Mehmet Oz doing their presser about shutting down fraud in Minnesota. And I'll see you guys over there. Goodbye, YouTube. Oh, by the way, become a member like Betty Boop, like Diane. Oops, sorry. Like Betty Boop and Diane and Mary. Good to see you there. Thank you for being members. By the way, happy birthday again to Graydon Dean. I don't think you're here yet. You probably see this on replay. We did celebrate at the beginning, and we're celebrating again right now. So, happy birthday to you. And by the way, happy birthday to Missy Stevens. That's tomorrow. Missy Stevens is big hugs, Missy Stevens. Oh, I think Debbie Lance's big hugs. That's the big hugs lady. But Missy Stevens' birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday to the both of you. See you guys over on Rumble. Become a member, please. It's only $3 a month, which is 10 cents a show. Or you can do it on Rumby. Right there, like Daisy, like TB Candle, like Campbell. Thank you very much for becoming members over there. We'll see you guys over there. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a great day. I'll see you over on Rumble. If not, see you tomorrow. Bye. All right, now that's off.